and that would be by on Reliance Industries. The fundamentals do remain in place, is the word coming in from Jay. Now, the other space that's been seeing consistent pressure in trade is very clearly the entire banking and financial pack. The Bank Nifty today lost 340 points, and in fact, only two counters of the Bank Nifty constituents closed out positive. Yes Bank was one of them, seeing a positive move after quite a bit of sell-off that's come in for this counter. So we closed higher by nearly 1%, and along with that, Federal Bank just about flat with a slight positive bias. But apart from these two names, wherever we look, it's red on the screen. Axis Bank was the top loser. Remember, this has been the one that saw the sharpest run up, one of the most favored picks, in fact, amongst most analysts. Today, though, 3% cut coming in there, and this is off the record highs that the counter has posted recently. Similar story on ICICI Bank that saw cuts of nearly 1% in today's trading day. Bank of Baroda lost out, State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, PSU banks also seeing the same kind of selling pressure. IndusInd Bank continuing to see pain. It's another 2% cut added to the kind of pressure that we've seen recently on IndusInd Bank. HDFC Bank also, like we were discussing, did come under pressure. A 0.5% cut is what we closed out with in today's trading day. Also seeing pressure for financials. In fact, if we talk about some of the financials that lost out in trade today, Shriram Transport Finance closed with cuts of nearly 7% in trade. And this after Ajay Piramal sold his entire 10% stake in the company at a little over 1,000 rupees per share. And the exit, of course, comes amid quite a bit of speculation that Piramal is looking to beef up liquidity at his own companies due to the turmoil that is currently plaguing the NBFC space as well. Jay, this stake reduction coming in as far as Shriram Transport Finance does point to more of the liquidity pain that we have been discussing. But overall, let me get your assessment of financials. What should we be doing here? Because even private banks, names like IndusInd Bank, seeing quite a bit of concern. Axis and ICICI Bank saw a downgrade coming in on some of their papers as well. There is concern about even the better quality banks in the system having exposure to low-grade papers. Also, what would you be doing here? Would you be buying PSU banks at these lower levels? Private banks, what's on the list?
I am optimistic that this the whole crisis which has been on in the financial services space would be sorted out in maybe 2-3 months time. But we also need to be extremely cautious of the fact that it's a time when an investor has to move from a company which has got which do not have a very clean management, where there are some kind of question marks on the books of the companies and on the kind of lending which they have done. So this 2-3 months, I believe that would be a time where there will be a lot of reshuffling happening. The weaker names would be beaten out, and the flow would move to the larger names, larger and companies with a solid background with good corporate governance. So I'm extremely bullish on the sector. This pessimism which is prevailing now would obviously give an opportunity where you can identify some multi-baggers. So I would stick with the names like Federal Bank, ICICI Bank on the private banking side, SBI on PSU, and on the NBFC space, Cholamandalam Finance, HDFC, and Piramal Enterprise would be the names to be in.